Okay, so let's continue. So like I was saying, we have narrow AI, okay? Now, its implications are weak. So this AI is defined to do specific tasks, and it does it very well. So one of the AI tools we know is like Google Translate. Now, if you're using these Google tools for translation online, it does fantastic. It can translate to a whole lot of languages from across the world. Even Hausa and Yoruba in Nigeria and Igbo. You could type anything in any of this language and it will translate it to those languages to you excellently. I use it for translating. I communicate with other people from across the world doing some other programs, and I don't speak their language. So whenever they send those, I put it on Google Translate. It gives me a perfect translation and I relate to them, so we communicate. So all it does is one task and it does it very well, okay? So just like the Google Translate, spam filters in Gmail, it is an AI. It detects emails that are not solicited and it sends them to the spam folder, okay? Now, it doesn't do anything else, just that singular task, or your Face ID on the phones. It doesn't play music. It doesn't detect or remind you of anything, calendar, birthdays, or whatever it is. It just does face detection. And it is artificial intelligence. If it is not your face or the face that was recorded on that device, there will be no access. So you see, so narrow AI are patterns to function, in this singular order. Now, like the calculator as well, very brilliant. Type in any figure and it will calculate it for you, but it can't do much more than that. Now, let's look at general AI. The general AI is strong, okay? And it can perform many, intellectual tasks that human beings can do with reasoning and adaptability. So you can process it through. Now, it will seem as if it's reasoning like we human beings do, but it's very different, even though the same task. Why? Because it uses data and information that it has. We human beings use discretion and all of that, okay? We human beings use discretion and emotions to function, but these tools don't use emotions. They use informations that are given to them. There are algorithms that they run through to, whether to make it positive or negative. So, like, of course, some of these things vertical. You can have, like, if you see the movie Iron Man, okay, now that is a suit that he wears that it processes information and makes decision on its own. It's like a human assistance, and that's more like the agentic tool that we're going to be looking up, very, very soon, okay? Yeah, so we now have the generative AI. Now, this AI creates new content like text, image, music, codes, and etc. It works by promptings. Now, promptings are some of the things we're going to look into later. Now, this is what makes the use of AI tools different from the traditional web browsers that I was mentioning, that some of us use the AI tools like the traditional browsers, which are not supposed to. So it's all about the psychology and the mindset. When you have the background, understand how these things function, then you will learn how to make the best use of it. Okay, some of us think that we are enjoying it right now. It's fantastic. Just wait until you discover the magic and the power that you are holding in your hand using the AI. All right. So the generative AI is like we have the Chat GPT, which most of us have and are using. It writes email, essays, codes, it writes songs and all of that. We have another one, the Midjourney. We have the DAL.E, and it creates images. Now, one thing you need to understand is there are so many artificial intelligence tools. Okay, most of us just know the ChatGPT, but there are different tools that worked perfectly for different purposes. So these are some of the things we're going to discover, okay? The different tools that are available and which one should you choose for which purpose. Now, there are some that can carry out multiple tasks, okay? But they won't give you the very best of, what you're looking for. It's like, for example, your phone. Your phone plays music, right? But can you use your phone for birthday parties? No, it plays songs, yes, but you won't have the best of the songs. You need something loud, something big, and all of that. So you're going to go for a sound set, maybe a DVD player or any of this Bluetooth enhanced devices that has louder sounds, and some that even have mixers that you can mix songs, and all of that. So this is what we're talking about. There are tools that will give you the best of some specific functionality. And then you will need to understand, so you will need to know which one gives me the best when it comes to articles, writing, text, and all of that. Which one gives me the best when it comes to images, song writing, and, code writing, and all of that. Which one gives me the best out of, creativity and, information and all of that. So very, very important that we understand these things and then how we can apply them, okay? And then we have the agentic AI, all right? Now, in this course, we are focusing on generative and agentic. Now, agentic AI is that AI that carries out action on its own accord towards achieving a goal that you have assigned to it. Now, what it does is it thinks for itself, it takes decisions by itself. Like I mentioned, the conventional browsers that we have, it is whatever you put inside, the query you put inside. What are the 10 countries in the world? What are the 10 richest countries in the world? It will just list them. It will bring websites that talk about these things, okay? But the AI tool will go further than that to interact with you, ask you some questions, give you information that suits your personality. You perhaps have been working with it for a while, and it will even ask you if you need further clarification or further explanation on certain things, or how to model the information that is given to you, and to have a fantastic output. Okay, so it interacts with you, it reasons with you. Okay, all right. Okay, Florence, can you please mute your microphone? Thank you. Okay, Florence, can you mute the microphone? All right, so let me help her out. Okay, so now these are just comparisons of what we just talked about. The narrow AI, it is a one task, AI tool. Example is like the Google Translate and the calculator. The general AI, any task, but it's more of the futuristic. So we are still walking into that. You probably would have seen, on tech magazines, how they are building robots to think and carry out tasks on their own. You'll find them on sci-fi movies. These are like human assistants, okay? And we have the generative AI. It creates content. And an example of that is the ChatGPT and the Midjourney. And it can paint and write and, write songs for you. We have the agentic AI. It takes action on its own. You can just give it a go, Now it wriggles around the information or the data it has to come out with the best outcome or best output for that which you have assigned it to do. So it's a personal assistant. All right. So why now the AI explosion in the last 5 years? Now, AI has been for a very long time. You can see it has been here since the 1950s, okay? But it exploded just in the last 5 years, 2020, most especially. You know, everybody was like AI, and ChatGPT came in the fore, when it comes to the AI. But for those of us who can remember or were using the personal computer way back in the late 90s, let me ask you, do you remember if you're typing on Microsoft Word on your computer, or you open a personal PC, Windows NT, Windows 97, if you still remember, very fantastic. I enjoy using those computers, in 1997, 99, 98, 99, and then the Windows Millennium came and the Windows 2000, all right? But before the Windows NT and the Windows 97 specifically, if you are typing, you will see a clipper, paper clip. It will just come up and, stand in front of you and would asking you, what do you want to type? And if you are typing, it will be making faces, we call it the wizard back then. The wizard comes up on your screen and, trying to understand what you want to do. And then it gives you some autofill and it will ask you some questions and you type in what you want. These are artificial intelligence in their early stages, okay? So these are all those things that are just kept building and building until we have what we have now, where we can interact with them. We can actually interact with them like you are interacting with a fellow human being who is far more intelligent, because they will give you anything you are asking for. And so we can just see the transformative milestones, since 2017. It revolutionized the natural language processing. 2018, the GPT-1 was released. It was still in that early process. Not many people know about it, but yes, people were interacting with it in one way or the other. Most of these browsers also use them as plugins to optimize their search engines. And in 2020, we have the GPT-3 by OpenAI, and 175 billion parameters widely used in chatbots. Now, when it was opened in 2022, we have 100 million users in just 2 months. In 2 months, as a matter of fact, when it was opened in 2020, in 1 week, 100 million people were connected to, the GPT. They already downloaded the app and were using it. So right now you can see millions and millions and hundreds of millions of people across the world are using the ChatGPT. Now, this ChatGPT was the forerunner, okay? And that is why you see it still running. And not to be biased, but it's still one of the best, so far we can get. I have tried quite a number of them to carry out, we have one that just came out recently, doing the same thing like ChatGPT, which we call DeepSeek. DeepSeek is fantastic. Also, it has its own strength and area, and ChatGPT has its own, so I've tested most of these things. I have most of these applications on my phone, for different purposes. I have the DeepSeek, I have the, what's it called now? I have Chatbot AI, I have the Binge, I have the Gemini, the Copilot. I have all these things that I use them for different purposes so that I can get the best out of them. Okay, so we're going to see how you can optimize for you. I mean, at the end of this whole thing, you would discover that you find the one that suits you best, okay, based on your different personality. Maybe you are a researcher, you're a book writer. The one you will work with the most is going to be different for the one who is a content creator. who is into social media, you know, branding and marketing and all of that, it's going to be pretty different because they function differently. And that is why we're looking at agentic and generative AI. Okay. Yeah. So this is the history, the course. We see it, you know, all the way to where we are today in 2005. Yeah. So let's look at generative AI. All right. What is generative AI and what is it focused on? So we're just going to go straight to the basics. All right. And um, so the generative AI refers to that AI system that can produce original content, text messages, images, audio, and even code. So you can actually code with tools. So for most people that go for coding classes and all of that, it's good and it's fantastic, all right? It's good you go ahead and learn. But if you understand those tools, you can actually come to any of these chatbots and ask it to write a code for you, and then you will run it, and it will give you the same result. Okay? But it's good that you have a hang of it first, because it's something that we're going to learn about the generative AI. One thing is that it's called hallucinate. So not all informations are correct. Sometimes you would need to prove them. Okay? So that's very important. So that's what it does. It can create audio and video and even code for you, messages, text, and all of that. It can write a song for you. It can summarize a whole meeting that you've had for a very long time you couldn't write or remember. It can write reports. It can write emails specific for all kinds of reasons. Okay, so that's what generative AI can do for you. It analyzes and classifies data, a whole bunch of data. You just throw at it to put everything in place and present it to you. So it creates new information. Okay. Now, the contemporary or the classic browsers that we use, whatever query you put in them or search, what it does is it gives you what is already out there, people's research work, people's paper, written information or video or whatever it is that they have out there already. But when it comes to generative AI, like the name implies, it gives you original content. It doesn't copy what someone does. It gives you original content based on your query, based on your request, or what we call prompt. So for the conventional web browsers, they use queries. Queries is, I'm asking for this, it gives me this. But for AI, we're going to understand what promptings are. It's very different and it's new. And you need to understand what promptings are. If not, you'll be using the AI tool as you're using a browser. Like I told you initially, that it's like having a bulldozer. And what you do with that bulldozer is you jump into it, drive to the nearest kiosk in your neighborhood, buy salt or sugar or something, and then you drive the bulldozer back home and back. Yeah, now that is what we do when we are using AI like that, in the conventional way. So you need to understand the power that is behind these tools so you can maximize it, you know, to its fullest. And that is why we're running this course, okay? So, yeah. So like key distinctions here, the traditional AI is, this is a cat or a dog. Its classification, it's either A or B. But the generative AI, you can give it a prompt and it will create a new image of a purple cat playing a guitar. Once you give it, it gives you its original. There's no place that there's a purple cat where you can give it a background. You can say in a village in Africa or in Russia, and you can say it has a toothpick made from acacia wood. Whatever it is, as you are speaking or you are giving it that prompt, it's generating, or it's in its originality. Okay? All right, so let's see some of the examples of generative AI tools. Now, if you have ChatGPT on your phone or you're using it on your computer, you are using a generative AI tool. That is a generative AI tool, okay? So it, like I rightly said, the kind of things it creates for you, even speech and reports. Now, we also have one, it's called Jasper AI. Now, for those, like I mentioned, that are into marketing, social media marketing and content and ads, Jasper AI is your to-go tool. We have Sonic. It's blog posts and search engine optimization articles. Now, we're going to have an advanced class for this. Okay, what we're doing is introducing you to these tools and giving you a hang of what it can do. But we're going to have an advanced class whereby you're going to have practical processes, and then you're going to have accounts and create, and then you're going to practicalize using these things. And then you're going to have a ton of a ton of prompts that you can use for your practice. And then with that, having the psychology behind these tools, you'll be able to create your own prompts as you use some of these tools. You know, it's fantastic. Trust me. Okay. So we have the Sonic, and you know, students use some of these things for research in school and for business campaigns for those who are into business. Now, for B, we have now the first one is for text generation and all of that, image generation, all under generative AI. They create images too. We have Midjourney, very fantastic in creating images and pictures if you're an artistic person. We have the Dial.E. It's an open AI that generates and creates illustrations from prompts. And I mentioned about prompts. We're going to see how we can build all of that. We have stable diffusion and all of these things. So like my wife is a fashion designer, okay? So what she does is that thing she has in her head, she can just speak, she can just talk to these tools and they'll generate the image. If it doesn't fit, she can change some things, say, put a belt on the dress, it will change immediately, it will change the dress, make it longer, make it a corset and change it just until she has a perfect picture of what she wants. And then she goes to the table to start building, or she gives it to her tailors. And you as an architect can use some of these tools to design a building without putting a pencil and a ruler on the table, you know, spending countless nights. Just give it the right prompt and it will bring everything out for you in perfect dimensions. All right. And also it does the video generation. We're going to see in the advanced class how some of you can use your own image, your own voice to prompt images. So now you are not the one talking. All you do when you create your, you know, your avatar, you're just going to type, write the things you want it to say, and then when you upload, it will start speaking with your image, with your voice. If I can change your voice, you want to sound like a British or an American or an Indian, it can give you all of that. And so people will see you reading and it is not you. So we have some of these tools, you know, that can bring some of those things out. Now, you see, these are some of the things that causes trouble in our social media environment. I see a whole lot of videos people put up on WhatsApp or on Instagram and say, oh, this is happening. And people be like, oh my God, what is this? This is terrible. And they are just AI generated. They are not real. You will see Donald Trump fighting with Vladimir Putin. And in real life, you see they are holding and jacking themselves, but it's AI generated. And most people can't even, you know, identify the difference. And so in this our time, you must be very careful. I, as a cybersecurity specialist, you know, have an eye for this thing. And that's why we always let people know they should be very careful. They should understand some of these things so that you won't be fooled like every other person. Trust me, recently there was someone was robbed. You know, he was doing a video call with his boss, and the boss asked him to carry some money and send to a certain account. The guy was seeing his boss on his phone through video, hearing his boss's voice, and he took out the action just for the boss later to find out that, to confirm that he didn't ask him to do that. He didn't even call him. How did he, you know? And so these are AI tools that are working in our day and time. We call some of these deep fakes. Well, we'll see some of those later. Okay. Yeah. So we also have video generation, and we have audio and music. All right. So Suno, Aviva, and Jukebox, OpenAI can create music for you. So sometimes some people, you don't need to sit down and crack your head and wait for inspiration. Just tell it the kind of music you want to write, and it will do it for you. Now, I've been writing a song way back since in the 90s. I love singing songs. I like writing. So I was writing, it is rhymes, and I'm taking the cues from the Bible. Okay. So I got stuck. I don't know the whole Bible where I can get words that fit in perfectly and rhyme. Unlike, I'm not talking about all these crazy songs we sing today that they'll be rhyming and you don't even know what they're talking about. I wanted to make sense, and it is a Christian song I was writing. I got stuck there and I couldn't continue till recently. So thinking about it, after I learned about the OpenAI, I thought about it. I said, oh, okay, which means I can complete my song. Trust me, I wrote the part of my song with the rhymes, and where I got stuck, and I asked the AI to complete this song for me. I gave it the right prompts and how I wanted to go, how I wanted to finish and everything. And in a few seconds, it brought out the rest of the song, ladies and gentlemen. Complete song with the right rhymes from the Bible. And I was like, wow, this is so fantastic. Now, if I want to give it sound and track and everything, I go to the AI, give it a hip music or a rock or jazz or rhythm and blues, or it could be a rap music. Let it give it the best kind of tunes and everything. And the song is out, and I'll go to the studio and record, and people will buy my song. So you see the great and powerful things you can do with AI. All right, so let's proceed. We have a whole lot. So, well, this was supposed to be a discussion session, how business and students can use generative AI. Okay, I would have loved to discuss. Yeah. So let me ask, maybe let's get one or two responses and then we'll continue. What are you involved with? What are you doing? Are you a student, or are you a business person, or are you a freelancer? You just go out and give services to people out there, or an entrepreneur, or are you into ministry? Okay, you're into church ministry, or you are a government worker, or whatever it is. What are you into, and what do you think you want to achieve, and how do you think AI could help you? Let me just get one or two response. What are you into, and then what do you hope to see AI help you achieve in this generation that we are? Just one or two people, and then we will proceed. All right, anybody can come up.
Well, Yerima Ebenezer here, sir.
Okay, yeah, please.
Um, I'm a pastor.
Okay, sir, great.
I'm into ministry,
Okay,
and I'm into business at the same time. I'm a student,
okay,
and so we we're into logistics and capacity building.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I think it is one of the reasons why I desire this training, because I have little idea about AI, and have you been using some and then giving me headways, and
Okay.
then the urge for more started building in,
Oh,
and
great.
then this desire becoming more stronger, knowing for sure that I can do it.
Okay. Uh-oh. Think we lost you there for a moment. Oh dear. Okay, Yerima, if you can hear me, I think we lost you, but no problem. I think I get the picture of uh what you're trying to share.